Welcome to Money Monday. We're going to go ahead and get started. It is Monday, January 28th, and we are super grateful that you're here. We're excited about what's happening in the Renatus world, what's happening in our own individual communities. There's a lot of great things happening. So, first of all, I want to remind everyone that we are going to be having the National Intensive is coming up, and they're going to be hosting Garrett Gunderson. That is on March 9th. So I'm really excited about that. There's going to be a lot of energy behind it, and gosh, we're going to make so much money. If you use the system, we're going to make a lot of money. If not, well, then it'll be just another Saturday for you. Let's make some money. Let's work on that. So, okay, so we talked about that. March 9th. Okay, 9 to 5. Intensive. Garrett Gunderson. So what we decided to do here in Denver is we're going to be broadcasting. Okay, so we had to kind of move our schedule around to make it all work. So we're going to be broadcasting this into our office. We are charging $30 a person. Doesn't matter if you're an IMA or a guest. And how we're positioning it, if you wanted to go take Garrett Gunderson's class and you didn't know about Renatus, you weren't connected to Renatus, you wanted to take his class, you would spend $2,000 for 2 days of workshops with him. Well, we're going to be doing just one of the 2 days, and so due to the transitive properties of mathematics, that means it's $1,000 a day. So if we're only charging $30 for people to sit in live, are paying $1,000, we should be packing the room all over the country with people going, hey guys, it's $1,000, but you can have it for 100. It doesn't matter what you put. 100, 75, 50, 30, 20, free, doesn't matter. You put free, you probably get some people leaving throughout the day. If you want people to stay, make them pay. You want people to stay, make them pay. And then, of course, at the end of the day, if they feel like it wasn't worth their money, but they stayed the whole time, they're like, you know what, that wasn't worth it. That wasn't valuable. You guys wasted my time. If that's the case, we'll give them a full refund on the spot right there, and here's your money back. Okay? So let's build like crazy for this. It's $1,000 a day if you want to go, but thank God you know me. I got a Renatus connection, and you can have it on Saturday, March 9th. Come to my office, come meet some investors, entrepreneurs, business owners, like-minded folks. $30. That's you gotta build for this. Okay, it's gonna be awesome. Now, if you're in Utah, by all means, you should be dragging people there. It's $1,000 a day for this workshop. New York Times best-selling author. New York Times best-selling author, multiple award-winning books and programs. He's in the Inc. 500. The guy's incredible. His content's insane. We should be charging people $1,000 a day for it, and they will pay for it. They would gladly pay for it. You don't get into the Fortune 500 with a $1,000 a day workshop and have it be a shitty workshop. I'm just saying. So let's get out there. Let's spread the word. Make some flyers. It's financial literacy. It's wealth acceleration. It's financial strategies. It's whatever you want to call it that in your area gets people to show up. I'll tell you how important it is that you pick your verbiage. We just had our workshop in Denver for 1031 exchanges. Okay. It was awesome. Scott Saunders did a fantastic job. He delivered. The info was incredible. Everyone needs this stuff. 1031 exchanges. Well, that's what we were calling it for 4 out of the 5 weeks we were building. We call it 1031 exchanges. Who's coming? Who wants to learn about 1031 exchanges? And too many people were like, oh, that's for when you retire. Or, oh, well, that's, oh, I watched a YouTube video on that. I'm good. Or, oh, I did one of those a couple years ago. I'm good. Those people were like, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. So then we changed it and we started calling it asset protection. Because guess what? A 1031 exchange is a method of asset protection. So as soon as we started calling it asset protection, now all of a sudden people are excited about it. Okay, well, I also asked the instructor to give us some market updates. So then we said, hey, you guys want to learn about the 2019 market updates as well as how to protect your assets moving forward? Come to the workshop. And now, because we called it that, we had way more people show up in the last week. And we got to be able to pack the house. It was good. We had over 44 people there. The last count I did, but throughout the day, people were still showing up. So what do you want to call it? If you call it the Garrett Gunderson Intensive, no one's going to know what that means. No one's going to be excited to go. But if you call it, wealth acceleration, or you call it financial strategies, or you call it financial awareness, or you call it whatever you want to call it. Started from the bottom, now we're here. What do you want to call it? What's going to get people in the room? Of course, it's got to be accurate and within alignment. That's why we could switch the name of the course here. It's still in alignment. But go and watch your class. What Garrett is made for Renatus. That 2-day course in the bonus track is worth $2,000 for 2 days. Go and watch it. It's part of your program. And then get some ideas. Get with your leadership team. Get with the marketers in your area and say, what are we going to call this workshop? Because now that you've seen his class, you know what he's going to cover. And let's get serious about who we're bringing on board. Let's get serious about who we're talking to, what our message is, and how we're going to serve them. Sales equals service. Okay, looks like I got some good chats going on. Sorry. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, Andrew, doing great. Dennis, what's up? All right, here it says be your own bank, and Amaris is saying copywriting is important to marketing. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if he owns the phrase be your own bank or someone else does. But yeah, I mean, a popular phrase is, that becoming your own bank, being your own banker, infinite banking system. But that's getting into using life insurance, and that's a small portion of what Garrett's going to be talking about. He's going to be talking about the 5 levers to pull for creating wealth. He's going to be talking about constructive versus destructive expenses. So it's not just going to be becoming your own banker. That's going to be a part of it, like how 1031s is a part of asset protection. Okay. So if you guys come up with something awesome, put it in the chats, put it in the group me's, put it in the Facebooks. Let us know on here each time in the morning when we launch these. Let us know what you're coming up with. But all of us should be making at least 50 grand that day. Okay, you have 10 guests in front of Garrett, 5 decide to buy. Boom, simple math, 50 G's. We could do this. So what do we want to call it? If you guys are thinking of some stuff before we wrap up today and you want to put it in the chat box, what are we going to call Garrett Gunderson's class? Okay, the intensive. What are we going to call it? Wealth acceleration. Okay. Building a mindset of steel. Becoming your own badass. There's some phrases from his books that we can use. Financial strategies. To some people, some meetups you could walk into, say, hey guys, next week I'm hosting a class called Financial Strategies. Who wants to go? And people be like, me! And other people be like, I'm busy. Financial, I'm busy. So, depends on the room, depends on the room. Build your financial freedom machine using the 5 levers of economic independence. Woo! Loving it. Yeah, 5 levers to economic independence. Okay, I like it. I like it. Asset acceleration and protection. Oh, fancy. Asset acceleration and protection. Okay, so take these ideas to your 5-star team, to your marketing team, to your lit team. Maybe you are running the lit team. You are your 5-star team. You're taking these ideas and saying, what are we going to make? What kind of flyers? What kind of Facebook ads? What kind of whatever? Going to Got Print and making some of those postcards, those 4x6s, passing them out. Are you going to make a lead capture page? If you guys got your Renatus iOS, you can go make a lead capture page pretty easily. Cool. Ooh, what is DSTs? Okay, so let's get creative. Let's keep this at the forefront of our minds. Put it everywhere. Write questions on your whiteboard in your office. Who are you bringing to March 9th intensive? Who's on my list? Who am I inviting? Okay, make it a constant conversation. Guys, this isn't for me. This is for you. You're the ones that want the money. You're the ones that want the financial freedom and the teams to build. You're the ones that want this stuff. I know what I'm going to be doing. That's what I do. Okay, when we did the 1031 exchange workshop, on my whiteboard for a whole month in my office was, who are you bringing? And I continued to add to the list, continued to write names, continued to add to the list. Now I'm going to just change that, start the list over, and be doing it with this intensive. So, some of you guys got iPhones, and you use the Note app. Okay, open up the Note app on your iPhone, start putting that in, and then guess what? You could share that Note app with your 5-star, with your accountability buddy, and they can be adding to the notes live updates, and you can see, or a Google spreadsheet you could be sharing. The key is if you bring it to the forefront of your mind, okay, what Woody Woodward calls this is TOMA. TOMA. Top of mind awareness. Top of mind awareness. Top of mind awareness. This is what we're doing. We got the intensive and nationals. Intensive and nationals. Intensive and nationals. That's our top of mind awareness. We do have a Super Saturday in between there. Okay, Super Sat, intensive, nationals. This is all we should be eating, breathing, speaking about, sleeping about. Okay, when people say, how you doing? You say, nationals. Hey, what's on your mind today? The intensive. This is top of mind awareness, guys. Yes. You're hearing it right. You heard me right. Top of mind awareness. All right, sweet. Now, if there are any other questions or clarity things we could do about this, I'm going to switch topics to being a participant, being a presenter, being an audience member. And I think the best way to train on that is to walk through what we do here in Denver so you can see the system, how the people are participating, and what you need to adjust in your meetings in your office. And then also, if you've already got some great ideas and you can see a way for us to improve, by all means, share it. So let's do that. Let's talk about meetings, running the presentation, what to do, what to say, how to be at the presentation. Okay, so let's do this. So who is the presenter? Who is the presenter? when you go to a meeting? Okay, Rupert, get out of the office. Yes, everyone. Everyone is a presenter, but mistakenly, people think, oh, well, just the person with the clicker, right? They got the clicker in their hand. That's the presenter, not me. There's only one presenter. Wrong. Fact, everyone, all of us are presenters at the meeting. All of us. And what do I mean by that? Let's take a quick little trip through, well, that too, we're presenting ourselves to the world, right, Josh? How do we want to be presented? Okay, but at the meeting, it is definitely all of us. Let's walk through. Okay, hold on. I'm going to switch my Apple Pencil 1 second. But let's walk through this. So when someone comes into our meeting, they pull up to a parking lot. There's plenty of parking. There's a lighted walkway. Okay. And then the very first thing that they see is there's someone at the door. There's a greeter. There's a person. And guess what? That's our second presentation. Or some might even consider our third presentation. But the amateur still thinks no presentation has happened yet. It's not 7 o'clock. Well, let me tell you what I mean by that, because that kind of thinking will cost all of us, not just you, but the team as well. What do I mean by that? Well, the first presentation that your guest or lead experienced was the ad and the voicemail. See, we don't really think about that as being a presentation, but that is most definitely a presentation. And the ad, the voicemail, what they just heard, is already making an impression in their mind. So that's first. Then the second presentation that they're attending is the phone call or the email that you're going to be sending to them. So first presentation is the ad / if you have your voicemail greeting set up to sort them out, that's first presentation. Second presentation is going to be the phone call and or the follow-up email to give them the details. Now, if that email sucks and there's a bunch of grammar errors or the wrong address, all these different things, that's the presentation. That's what they're getting. So we want to be on point with that. If you haven't had someone check your email lately, just call an IMA real quick. Say, hey, I'm going to forward you what I've been sending to my guests. Tell me what you think. And just make sure it's on point. Okay, then the third presentation is the greeter. The greeter is saying hello with a smile. They're pointing. Okay, they're holding the door. So if this person is on the phone, well, let's say it's 6:30, meeting starts at 7. They go, I got a half hour. Got a half hour before the meeting starts. I'm just going to play on my phone. I'm sure there's some sort of colorful thing I could click on repeatedly to pass the time. Okay. Don't play on your phone. I know some of you, the reason why you're poor is because you still have games on your phone. Look at my phone. There's no games. What are games for? Why would you have a game on your phone? Are you a kid? Where you have nothing better to do? Oh, I just do it to pass the time. BS, you have classes to watch. You got offers to make. Pass the time, come on. Delete those games off your phone. Okay, number 4, so for us, there's a nice big old building. Okay, then the person walks up to the sidewalk here. There's a greeter. They say hello. Is my picture coming through? I just realized it's not. There we go. Okay, there we go. So there's a greeter. Now the greeter says, hey, come on in, take the elevator. You're going to go up to the second floor where all the fun people are. Okay, but they're doing a huge presentation right now because there's curiosity, there's skepticism, there's trepidation in the person's mind. They're wondering, is this the right thing? Should I be here right now? I don't know. I don't know. So your big bubbly energy, your big attitude. Hi, welcome. Come on in. You're here for the real estate workshop. Oh, fantastic. Huge energy. Lots of positivity. Big old smile. This is a presentation. This presentation could make or break the that person's experience and that IMA's ability to convert that person to a sale. That's huge. So don't be casual about the role that you're playing or what position you're volunteering in, what you're doing as the presenter. This is not something to be casual about. Remember, if you're casual, you could easily end up a casualty. So let's not be casual about this stuff. Okay, so we got the person to help them go into the elevator as the presenter. Then the next one is outside the elevator. This person with another big smile says, welcome. We're going to go down the hall this way, and you're going to get checked in. And they're going to point you to the proper room. And so that is a presentation, how they're dressed, how they make eye contact, what they were doing right before the elevator opened, right? Were they side chatting and had their back to the elevator, or were they ready and welcoming? Okay, it's a big difference. How would you feel about it if the person who's supposed to guide you is surprised by your presence? Then that means they're not on point. Their presentation sucks. So always paying attention. It's for a half hour in the meeting, right before the meeting. Just pay attention. Yeah, I don't know why my iPad's not working. All of a sudden it was like, hey, I know it was like really convenient for you to help with your visuals and stuff, but okay, resetting this. In the meantime, so we're already on our fourth presenter. Okay, we got the ad and the voicemail, we got the phone call and the follow-up, we got the greeter who's holding the door, we got the person at the elevator who's pointing them down the hall. Then the fifth presenter or group of presenters are the check-in registration people and the name tag writers. And, you know, in Salt Lake City, they got some floaters on with iPads going around checking people in. That is a presentation. What's your name? Welcome. Who are you? Are you on the list? All those things, that is part of the presentation. So what kind of language are you using during that? Are you saying, hey? Are you saying hello? Are you saying yeah? Are you saying yes? Those are, people pay attention to that stuff. Are you respectful and inclusive of new people, or are you very cliquish and just only talking to the people you talked to last week and last week and last week and last week? Okay, those little things add up. Be inclusive. Be inclusive with what we're doing. So check-in registration. Could you imagine if the check-in registration people acted like a lazy door greeter and they were on their phone and they were like, oh, sorry. And then let me finish this real quick. Put my phone down. Oh, what's your name? What do you want? But it would just be silly if, when we think about check-in, we know exactly people are on point. They're saying hi, they're smiling, they're making those people feel great. They're pointing them in the right direction. So people take check-in seriously, but why don't they take greeter seriously, or the phone call seriously, or just being in? That's number 6. So before the meeting starts, right? There's the meet and greet, the mingling, the mixin, the mingling. So that is also a presentation. You are presenting yourself. You're representing part of the community. It's a presentation. It's a full-on presentation. So again, are you being inclusive, or are you playing on your phone? Or like think about that. If you're a 5-star, and you're in the mix and mingle. It's 6:45, 6:50, 6:55, right? We're getting ready, and you're constantly on your phone. Are you connecting with anyone? When a new person walks in, they're going to go, oh, look at all these people on their phones. Wow, I should really stay, right? Like that's not going to happen. So unless you're, checking the guest, helping them get to the meeting, why are you on your phone? What are you checking things for? It's exclusive to be on your phone. We want to be inclusive. So number 6, if you're mixing and mingling, you're a presenter. You are presenting. And so people are looking. How are you dressed? How are you shaking hands? How are you walking in the room? How are you carrying yourself? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to new people or the same people? That all gets noticed. So we're already up onto our 6th presenter. Okay, then we have the introducer. Number 7, the person who introduces and starts the meeting. The MC, the person who says, come in, grab your seats. I got some important information for you. That person is also a presentation, whether it's 30 seconds or 25 minutes. In that intro with the MC, we also bring up a couple different student success stories so that they can share how they're going to facilitate, help, what's happened to them, their experience. And so that's another presentation. That's presentation number 8. That's before the person with the clicker ever even goes up. There's already been 8 presentations. Isn't that crazy? Never even thought about it this way. Chuck, I'll answer your question in a minute. So now they've moved, or the people up in the front, student success stories, they've moved on. They passed the presentation back to the MC. Now the MC is going to be bringing up the presenter. But guess what? You as the IMA, you as the person sitting in the audience, as an audience member, you are also the presenter, right? You're sitting there. What kind of audience member are you? What kind of, how are you going about this? What are you doing? Are you taking notes? Do you have your notebook out? Yeah, I don't know why my screen is not sharing for you. That is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm clicking all the same buttons. All the same buttons. Now it's not sharing anything. I'm going to share my desktop. I won't share that.
We see it now.
You see it? Okay. Well, now, if I stop that and I switch to my iPad, can you see my iPad now? Can you see this incredible drawing I'm making?
Spinning.
No.
It says you've started sharing, but it's not showing it. There it is. There's a little portion of your window. That's all we see.
Yeah, what a weird little, it is totally glitching out. Nice. Okay, can you see it now? My little list here I'm making.
Nope.
Kind of weird. Huh.
What I see right now, it says get your own free account. Just a little tiny window.
Really? That's dumb. What about now?
I see some chats. No, I see sign up for free. That's all.
Weird. Very, very interesting.
The show started screen sharing again.
Okay, can you see it now?
Still says started screen sharing.
All we see is the message, Michael, not the actual screen.
Cool. I've clicked on all the things.
Hey, did we declare it perfect?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. For sure.
Yeah. You're showing a phone now. A little phone symbol.
That's okay. I guess that's better than a get your own free thing. Okay, so let me get back to this. Let's just pretend like it's 1999 and we can only do a conference call. Oh man. Okay. So number 9, as an audience member. As an audience member, how are you presenting yourself? Because from the guest perspective, I'm telling you, this is so important because it's $10,000. $10,000 is so important. How are you sitting as a presenter in the audience? How are you sitting? Are you leaning back? Did you kick one foot up? Did you put your ankle up on your knee? Now you're just kind of kicking back with one foot on the ground, right? Are you leaning, right? You loosen up your tie. What the hell are you doing? Okay, we haven't even started. Then there's other IMAs who, sitting straight up, they had their back off of the back of the chair. Think about that. Just that little difference of you putting your back on the chair versus you sitting up without your back on the chair. If you're sitting like that, then all the people around you are going to go, oh, well, I should probably erect my spine. I should probably pay more attention. They must know something I don't know. Also, then they're going to look down, like they're going to peek out the corner of their eyeball, right? They're going to look out their eyelashes at you, and they're going to see, what are you doing with your phone? What are you doing with your notebook? Do you even have a notebook or a journal? Okay. Now, there's a lot of people who don't show up with notebooks and journals. So what we provide in our office is clipboards. We went and bought dozens and dozens of clipboards, blank white paper, 1,000 big pens, and now, as people walk in, we say, hey, we're getting started. Come on in. Grab a clipboard. You're going to want to take some notes. You're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to take notes. So those people grab the clipboards, right? It's an investment of what, $50 for a year of clipboards? It's huge. So get it. But then also recurring students, or let's say you do a study group in your market, but now you have a guest. Sit with the guest. Who cares about your study group? You have a lifetime membership, Extreme Plus combo. Who cares about the study group? Stick with your guest. And then you're going to lead your guest of what to do by sitting up straight, taking notes, participating with I swear to God, guys, you have to answer the rhetorical questions. It's the same question. I get it. I know. When I say, who has a student loan? You don't need to be like, Michael, that's the 10th time you've asked me. I'm not asking for you. I'm asking for the audience member. Raise your hand. Every time it applies. If you're an audience member, you're a presenter. You were the 9th presentation so far. Raise your hand. Laugh at the joke. Guess what, guys and gals? If you're not on the Denver team, you don't know this. I said the same joke over and over and over and over every single week. For the last year and a half, it's been the same couple jokes. I got a bird joke. I got a pirate joke. Now I got a new contractor joke, okay? But it's the same. It's the same freaking jokes. But guess what? You as the audience member, if you got a guest in the room, you got to laugh like you never heard it. That's the kind of presenter you need to be. Elbow your guest a little bit at the aha moments, right? Like let's say we put up some amazing thing about asset protection. We just saved a bunch of money on taxes. Bam! Then turn to your guest or nod or elbow him or something to just kind of be like, did you hear that, dude? That was incredible. Like if you were at the movie and the peak of the movie just happened, you'd say, you'd elbow your neighbor, you'd shake him, you'd say, whoa, it'd be power. That's what it's got to be for you. You got to be that audience member that's fully in. right? Like if you paid $100, $1,000 to be a member and for the night, you would fully participate. So take your notes out, highlight stuff. Guys, you guys got it easy. Let me give you a little perspective. You got it easy. You have a follow-up room to go into. You got study groups to go into. You got a business pillar room to go into. Anything you got to go into, okay? For the first 3 years, if you guys have been around long enough, when we weren't doing study groups, we weren't doing group follow-ups on the same night, we weren't doing iOS, nothing. The only meeting was the 4 pillars. That was it. That was the only thing to see. And so if you go 100 times, or if you go every week for 2 years, that's 100 times. Plus, you had to see it at house tours, and you had to see it in intensives, and you saw it at Super Saturdays. It was the same meeting, But guess what? I made a lot of money because I acted like it was fresh. I didn't act like it was the same. I got excited about it. I laughed at the jokes. I raised my hand. You know what else I did is I didn't answer the questions that the presenter wanted the audience to answer. Right? Like when we're asking certain types of questions that provoke thinking, thought-provoking questions. Right? Like what they used to say was, what kind of income does real estate produce? Well, the first time I heard that question, I was like, I don't know. And then I heard the answer, massive and passive. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then the next week, the presenter says, hey group, so what kind of real estate or what kind of income does real estate produce? Well, now I already knew the answer. So me just shouting it out, nothing. The value I got from it was having to think about it. Having to think, then it got logged in my memory. So then I give space for the other people to think. Give space. And guess what? It becomes the same question. Right? What are the 4 F's for fixing and flipping? Well, let's say it's my 4th, 5th, 10th, 20th time. I would ruin the presentation if I answered that stuff. I need to let the presenter do it. I need to let the presenter draw it out of the audience members. Okay? So it'd be like you shouting out the punchline to the joke. That would just be silly. You would ruin the joke. And so we get that socially in the context of a joke, don't ruin the punchline. But in the context of teaching, it's the same thing. We just don't have as many experiences, so maybe we don't correlate it being the same. Okay. Aha moments and lessons are delivered often like a joke, where there's a punchline to wrap everything up so it anchors in the lesson. And so let the guessing happen, let the thinking happen, let the struggle, let the audience say the wrong thing. That's fine too. But being an active participant with laughing at jokes, raising your hand when raising hand questions are asked, taking notes, sitting with your back off of the back of the seat, sitting with both feet on the floor. Dude, guys, I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you have to pee. Hold it. Okay? Think about this again. So back in my world, when I first got started, for the first couple of years when it was just the same meeting, and I think about that, the first year when I still had when I had the job, and when I had 2 jobs, I was tired. Holy cow. And I remember sitting, and I remember my eyeballs going cross-eyed and blurry and fuzzy. And I'm like, just sit up, hold it together, don't drop your head, stay awake. I poke my leg, I pinch myself, right? I do stuff. I got to stay awake. If my guest sees me fall asleep, do you think I'm making 10 grand that night? No. So it doesn't matter how tired you are or how hungry you are or anything. You've got to be an active participant. Your income, your business, other people's income, and other people's businesses depend on your professionalism as an audience member. So don't spoil surprises, just like jokes. And then one of the reasons why you want to sit next to your guest is because when we end the meeting, all you got to do is turn to them and say, what'd you like best? Instead of trying to hurry and rush downstairs or rush across the hall and try to find your guest because you were in the other room doing the other thing. Unless that's your plan and that's your strategy, and you feel like that can go elegantly for you, other than that, I just highly recommend you spend time sitting next to your guests. Now, what if you have 5 guests? That's all good. You look at them like they owe you something. Like, hey, when the meeting's over, you bring your ass over here. When the meeting's over, let's meet in this corner. All right, when the meeting's over, hey, I'm going to sit next to this guy. It looks like you're sitting over there with your wife. All right, perfect. When the meeting's over, let's meet over at the registration table. I got a few more things to share with you. And you're not the authority. You tell them what to do. Okay? So that's 9 presentations. And then number 10 is the actual person with the clicker. That's where the mistake comes in, is too many people go, oh, well, now the presentation started. No. There's already been 9 other presentations, including you, the audience member, including the student success stories at the beginning, including the MC that does the intro, including you as the mix and mingler. So there's you as the participant while the meeting's happening, and there's you before the meeting's happening as the mix and mingler. Check-in and registration is a presentation. At the elevator or the greeter going down the hall, there's a couple bends in the hall, have one at each corner, this way, this way, this way. The Phoenix team is really good at that stuff. And then there's the door holders and the greeters and the smilers. Then there's your phone call and the follow-up email that you send, and then there's the initial ad and the voicemail. All of these are a presentation. And if they're choppy, they're incongruent, your customers fall off. But if you go back and look and you make it organized from beginning to end, it's the same message. We're professional throughout it. It's congruent. Then they can actually listen to the pitch. When people actually listen to the pitch, they buy. But if their subconscious mind is like, well, that ad was okay, and then their voicemail was silly, but then the email had a bunch of typos, and the guy who held the door was just wearing a t-shirt, and then the check-in people were disorganized and weren't warm, and then in the mix and mingle, no one talked to me, and then in the intro, the MC person didn't even make eye contact with me when we got started. No one in the audience offered me a clipboard to take notes. Like, do you think that person's going to buy from you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't buy it. So work with your team. Let's get this organized. If you're your area leader, obviously it's on you. If you're on the lit team, bring these ideas. Hey, have we walked through what our guest is going through in the 9 presentations that they received? Have we gone through that and just kind of analyzed it in the last 6 months, last year, last week, something, and start to analyze this? We are all presenters, every one of us. How we show up, what time we show up also matters. What if the presenter was like, well, I'm not on until 7:15, so I'll just show up at 7:14. That wouldn't work either. So how we show up, when we show up, all of these. I'm just going to type it in the chat box real quick because for some reason, yeah. Okay, so we got the ad/voicemail. Then it's the phone call and the follow-up email. You're following up from the phone call to get them to the next meeting. That's what I mean. Okay, then there's the greeter/door holder with the big warm smile, 100% focused. Okay, imagine if there was a door greeter, but they weren't paying attention and the guest ended up opening the door themselves. They'd look you up and down and go, what the hell are you doing here? So we got the door holder/greeter. Then we got another hallway, / elevator greeter, someone who's just continuing to point them down the right direction. Or, hey, the bathroom's over here, drinking fountain's there, but you need to be in that room over there. Right? That's that person. Okay, then we got the check-in. Check-in/registration. And how warm does that feel, right? Like if you're just using a temporary pop-up when I was half tables that can fold in half on those plastic lifetime tables. Get a tablecloth. Get some tablecloths. Let's not have these crappy plastic crap. Get some tablecloths. Okay, we just got tablecloths. I apologize to everyone that we had some crappy crap tables for too long, but we went and got some tablecloths. It definitely upped the game when people walk in. It definitely feels different seeing some tables with some cloth instead of those crappy metal legs just poking out. Okay, so check in registration, and then after registration, we're going to send them to the mix and mingle portion, right? Saying, hey guys, meet new people. I want you to meet this person. I want you to meet that person. A lot happens there. It's huge, and people look you up and down, and how are you presenting yourself? Okay, then we have the person who's doing the intro/MC, and then we have the student success stories. Okay, and then we have the audience members themselves fully participating, active, engaged, sitting up straight, audience, and then the presenter for the evening. And then technically there's one at the end of the day, the follow-up table. The people who are passing out the books or booking the follow-ups, sending, correspondence, hey, you're going to come back tomorrow, you're coming back on Saturday, whatever that is. There's a lot of us, we got to be looking at presentations as seriously as just the presenter looks at it, right? They're looking at, my PowerPoint's got to be on point. I'm not taking a bathroom break during the meeting. So what the hell are all the audience members doing taking bathroom breaks? Like, what's going on here? If we all were as serious as the presenter for each of the roles as we are, presenters as a team, if we took it that seriously, we'd be making so much more money, having so much more impact on people's lives. The community events would be so much bigger. We could give back to charities in such a bigger way because there'd be so much more congruency from beginning to end. So let's stay on point. Bring up this conversation with your people in your area. Small teams, big teams, it doesn't matter. This is something we got to get on point with. All right, guys, I got to hop on the pack call. Thanks for staying late with us. Abby, you're a badass. Thanks for hosting this week as Ron and his family are enjoying some time off. You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. It's Money Monday. Go after it.
Thank you, Mike. Great meeting. Have a great one.